Hi guys, I'm Drew. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm giving away my best kept secret, how to make a Parmesan encrusted omelette. We're going to be starting with our eggs. Today we have Santa Rosa Farm eggs. I usually go for different eggs, but beggars can't be choosers. 2 to 3 eggs is what you're going to want. If you're using a smaller pan like I'm going to be, I'm going for 2 eggs. If you use 3 eggs in a pan like this, you're probably going to burn it because it's going to take a really long time to cook the inside of it. Whereas if you're using a bigger pan, like this guy, you could totally get away with 3 eggs. Anyways, today we're going to use 2 eggs. Just break them into your favorite cup. For me, that's the You Put the Awe in Awesome cup that my niece Sam gave me. Shout out to Sam. So I got 2 eggs in there. I like to add a tiny bit of salt and pepper to the eggs themselves before I beat them up. Just gives a little flavor in the eggs. Today we're just doing cheese omelette, but you can also rummage through your fridge at this point and find any leftovers you have to put in your omelet. Some of my personal favorites are macaroni and cheese, and steak. Or avocado, that's a good one too. See, I'm just beating my eggs up. You guys have probably all done this before. Alright, we're going to move on to the cooking series. Alright, let's get to cooking. So we got our eggs right here. I've had my pan heating up for a little while so it's nice and hot. You want to make sure that the pan gets kind of hot first. You could use totally some light olive oil or some butter. I'm totally going to go for butter because it's butter. But you do want to get high quality butter. That's very important. This is a little hot here. So I got Clover, which is pretty good. Strauss is my favorite. You can see I used a lot of butter. There's a reason I'm using a lot of butter. And it has something to do with the Parmesan crust. So I'm trying to get the butter up on the sides of the pan as much as I can so it doesn't stick. And then we throw in the eggs. So here's the fun part. We got our shredded Parmesan cheese. You don't want to use grated or powdered Parmesan. Actually grated is fine. But you don't want to use that powdered stuff you put on noodles. You want to have some quality Parmesan. Put it around the edge of the cheese. And that's why the pan choice is really important. You'll get very different results with different pans. But I like a big, fat Parmesan-y crust. That's my favorite. So at this point, just let it sit. You can pick out some cheese for the inside. I like to use Munster cheese. It's kind of buttery. You're picking up on a theme. Don't tell my mom I cook with so much butter. Anyway, put that in there. Maybe a little extra. So you just let it cook for a while. What you're looking for is you're trying to get the liquid stuff cooked. So if you feel like it's cooking too fast, you can turn it down. You certainly don't want it on high. I'm kind of rocking a low right now. It's going to take a little while. You'll notice the cheese gets brown and then the egg gets cooked. I'm going to throw some green onions on there because who doesn't love green onions? Alright, good. So I like to save a little green onions to put on the very top of the omelet for presentation. So if you want to throw a couple to the side, it's always a good plan. But I'll tell you, man, leftovers. Last week I had some leftover macaroni and cheese that had like ground beef and onions and peppers in it. I made an omelet out of that. It was incredible. So leftovers are definitely the way to go. I'm just feeling a little lazy this morning. So you can see, let's get a close up here. You can see the egg is pretty much cooked. It's not moving around anymore like liquid. So at this point, you need to grab a spatula. This is my favorite spatula. It's very bendable. And we're going to kind of dislodge the cheese from the sides. If you are successful at buttering the sides of the pan, this will be a little bit easier. If it's getting sticky, you're going to have to be pretty careful. Now, I undid the sides and I kind of lucked out. You can see the whole thing didn't stick. And that's why I like to use a good amount of butter. If it's sticking, you're going to have to get the spatula underneath it, and that's going to be kind of tricky. So I push it to the right side of the pan where the cheese is, and then I get under this side with the spatula to flip it. I also lightly press with the spatula to kind of push the cheese and any uncooked egg to the side of the omelet. And then you just let it cook. At this point, I definitely turn it down a little. Almost to like a simmer. And there's a good amount of oil collecting in the pan from the cheese melting and all the butter I used. Getting excited. I'll bet you. I hope you're cooking this right now, because if you're not, I'll bet you're gonna have some serious fun. So I let it cook on that side for a minute. Break it loose and flip it. This can be pretty tricky. Feel free to use a bigger spatula if you're having trouble handling your omelet. All right, I think we're good. Boom, there you have it. Put a little green onions on the top for presentation. Sprinkle a little pepper on there if you wanted. Other herbs and spices. There you have it, a Parmesan encrusted omelet with green onions. Thanks for watching. And don't tell all your friends. Keep it your own special secret like I have for years. And everybody will love you.